Ridgetop Yoga Retreat. Today is the 23rd day of Mindful March. We hope you're enjoying the sessions. We'll be doing the classes every day till the end of March. Today is a half-hour session and we'll be working on hip openers. So just get into a comfortable seated position and we'll get started in a few minutes. Comfortably rest your hands on your lap, whether you're in easy seat, staff pose, or hero pose. And then just begin to calm your mind and relax your body. And just make sure that you have water close by for practice. And today will be a half-hour practice. And just begin to relax your body, relax your shoulders, your arms. Lengthen the spine, ground down through your sit bones. And just focus on your breath, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. With each inhale, inhaling relaxation, and each exhale, exhaling tension. Maybe roll your shoulders forward and bring them back and down. Your palms can be facing down on your lap for grounding or facing up to receive energy. And you can gently close your eyes and focus on your breath. If any thoughts come into your mind during practice, just let them go and focus back on your breathing. Remember, this is your practice, so if a pose doesn't feel right, just come out of the pose and wait for the next one. Take a deep inhale in through your nose. And slowly exhale out through your nose. On each inhale and exhale, completely filling your lungs up with air. And on the exhale, completely emptying your lungs. Make sure you're grounding down through your sit bones and lengthening your spine here. You want to keep a straight spine. And if you're not comfortable in easy seat, you can sit in a chair if you want. You can have your legs out in front of you for staff pose, or you can sit on your heels in hero pose. It's all about what's comfortable for you. Now we'll take 3 deep inhales in through our nose and just gently exhale out through your mouth. So take a deep inhale in through your nose and slowly exhale out through your mouth. Take another deep inhale in through your nose. And slowly exhale out through your mouth. And one more deep inhale. breath. And take a deep inhale, reach your arms up overhead, lengthening the spine, reaching out through your fingertips. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, you can do that now. Give yourself some love and gratitude for coming to your mat. And then inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, slowly release your hands back down by your side. And we'll come up to standing position. We'll take a few breaths in Tadasana and mountain pose. So your feet are hip distance apart, ground through all four corners of your feet. Palms are facing forward, shoulder blades, roll them forward, back and down. And then just take your gaze forward. Your eyes can be opened or closed. And just take a few deep breaths here. And then if ever a pose during practice doesn't feel right, you can always come into Tadasana and just bring your focus back to your breath. You're grounding down through your feet, lengthening your spine, and reaching out through the crown of your head. Now inhale, reach your arms up overhead. For a full body stretch, reaching out through your fingertips, grounding down through the soles of your feet. Engaging your core here, lengthening the spine. You can take your gaze up for a slight back bend. Turn your palms facing out and exhale, slowly release your arms back down by your side. Inhale, reach up, arms overhead. Slight arch to the back, take your gaze up. And exhale, slowly release your arms back down by your side. And one more inhale, reach up. And exhale, slowly release your arms by your side. Now this time when we inhale, we're going to go up onto our toes and reach the arms up overhead. Inhale, reach up, going up on your toes, working on balance. And exhale, slowly release your arms by your side. Inhale, come up on your toes, engaging your legs, lifting your kneecaps, lengthening the spine, working on balance. And exhale, slowly release your hands back by your side. And last one, inhale, reach up. And exhale, slowly release. Now interlace your hands in front of you, palms facing the mat. And on your exhale, just take your gaze down towards your hands. You're still grounding down through your soles of your feet. Your legs are engaged. And then just follow your hands, reaching your hands up overhead. So you're inhaling and following your hands, taking your gaze up. And slight back bend. And then exhale, just slowly follow your hands back down towards the mat. Match your breath to your movement. Inhaling, being careful of the neck, getting movement into the neck. And exhale, bring your hands back. And one more inhale, take your gaze up. And exhale, bring your hands back down. And now release your hands and interlace your hands behind your back. If that's uncomfortable, then you can just place them on your low back. You're really trying to bring those shoulders down. you're at a neutral spine. And take a deep inhale. And then just take your gaze over your left shoulder. And just take a few deep breaths here, keeping the shoulders down. And inhale back to center. And exhale right, taking your gaze over your right shoulder. Take a few deep breaths here. Then inhale back to center and exhale, release. Release your arms. We're going to extend our arms out in front of us, palms facing forward. Engage your arms here. You're grounding down through the soles of your feet. Engage your core. Reaching out through your fingertips. You're inhaling. And on the exhale, bring your fingertips to shoulders. Inhale and exhale, fingertips to shoulders. Match your breath to your movement. Next time your fingertips are at your shoulders, leave them there. And we're going to inhale our elbows out to the sides. And exhale, bring your elbows together. Inhale, opening, shoulder blades back. Exhale, bring the elbows together. Inhale and exhale. Getting movement into the shoulders. And next time your elbows are together, leave them there. And inhale your elbows up and around. And exhale back and down. Making circles with the elbows. Inhaling and exhaling. And then we'll do 2 rounds in the opposite direction. Inhaling back and up. Exhaling forward and down. And then just release your hands by your side. We'll take a quick Tadasana. And now inhale, reach up. Hands overhead. And exhale, swan dive, forward fold. It's the first forward fold. You can have a slight bend in your knees. Hold opposite elbow to opposite hand. Sway from side to side. You're trying to release the tension in that low back. See if you can let your head get you deeper into the fold. Take a few deep breaths here. Then inhale, slowly come up, hands overhead. And exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, release. Now we're going to add on to that. We're going to go into a flat back. So inhale, reach up. Take your gaze up for a slight back bend. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, keeping a flat back as long as you can. Then inhale, half lift, flat back. Engage your core here, lengthen the spine, reach out through the crown of your head. Take a few deep breaths here. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly come up, hands overhead. And exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, release. We're going to go into sun salutations. So come to the front of your mat. And we'll inhale, reach up, hands overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plank. Plant your hands. Engage your core. Step back to plank. sure your shoulders are over your wrists and you're pressing through your feet. You can come to your knees if you want. For modified plank and flip your toes. You're still working on strengthening those arms, strengthening your core. Then with control, bring your chin and chest down between your hands. Elbows stay at your sides. Make sure they don't fall out to the sides. Flip your toes and come up for cobra. If you want to come up to upward facing dog, you're on the tops of your feet and just your hands. Your gaze is straight ahead. It's your practice, so whichever is for you today, do that now. And then flip your toes and push back to downward facing dog. Inhale, look up. For downward facing dog, this is the first downward facing dog. So pedal out your feet. You can go up on your toes. Have a slight bend in your knees. Pressing your hips high and your chest towards your thighs. Really get the stretch in that downward facing dog. Then inhale, look up between your hands. And on the exhale, walk or step forward to forward fold. Inhale, slowly come up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, release. Inhale, reach up, hands overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plank. Plant your hands, step back to plank. Engage your core. You can come to your knees. Now we're going to flow through, so you can bring your chin and chest down between your hands and come up for cobra or upward facing dog. For cobra, your toes are pointed back, your palms are pressing into the mat, you're lifting your heart, your gaze is straight ahead. For upward facing dog, you're up on the tops of your feet and pressing the palms of your hands into the mat. If you're in upward facing dog, go straight back to down dog, flipping your toes. If you're in cobra, exhale down to the mat, flip your toes, and push back to downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths here. See if you can get your hips a little higher. Your head's between your arms. Inhale, look up between your hands. Exhale, walk or step forward, forward fold. Inhale, come up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, release. We'll do one more. Inhale, reach up, hands overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plank. Plant your hands, step back to plank. Engage your core. Strong arms here. Make sure your shoulders are over your wrists. Now we're going to flow through whichever's better for you. Bring your chin and chest down between your hands. Flip your toes. Come up for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale back down to the mat. Flip your toes. Push back to downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths here. Inhale, look up between your hands. Exhale, walk or step forward, forward fold. Inhale, come up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale. reach up, and exhale, release. We'll take a few deep breaths in Tadasana in mountain pose. You might be getting warm now after the sun salutations, getting the body moving quick since it's a half-hour class. Now we're going to turn our toes towards the right. So our feet are placed as if we're on railroad tracks. Both feet are facing the right. And you should be able to roll a ball between your feet. So we're going to go into pyramid pose. So place your hands on your hips and take a deep inhale. And we're just going to hinge from our hips and exhale, fold. We're only going to go halfway. You're going to feel this in the back of your legs. There's no bend in the knees. And if you're comfortable, extend your arms out in front of you. Now pull your belly button in. And then see if you can fold down to the mat. Feeling the stretch in the back of the legs. Then place your hands on your hips. Engage your core. And see if you can come up, roll up halfway. And hold it there and really try to lengthen your spine here. And then using your core, roll all the way up. And then bring your hands to heart center and step that left foot back a bit. We're going to go into high lunge. So put a bend in that front knee. You're going back on the ball of that back left foot. If your right leg was in front, if your left leg was in front, then step back with that left leg. With that right leg, I mean. And then when you're ready, bring your arms to goalpost. Take your gaze slightly up. And then raise your arms up towards the sky. Engaging your thighs here. And then drop that right arm down towards your back leg and twist, turning towards the right, towards that bent leg. Your left arm is still up, your right arm is back. Feeling the twist in that left hip. And come back to high lunge. And bring your hands to heart center and step forward to Tadasana, to mountain pose. Take a few deep breaths here. Now we're going to turn our toes towards the left. So your left foot should be out in front, your right foot's behind. Your feet, your toes are both pointing towards the back of the mat. And we're going to go in, just fold, place your hands on your hips and just fold, hinge from your hips for pyramid. You're lengthening the spine here. Your knees are straight, they're not bent. And when you get halfway, stop. Pull your belly button in, engage your core. If you're comfortable here, you can extend your arms out in front of you. Your gaze is down. You're going to feel the stretch up the back of the legs. Butch has to make his appearance again. And then exhale, begin to fold. You're going to feel the stretch up the back of the legs. So you might have to change your stance if you're not feeling anything. Your hips are high, your hands are on the mat. Take a few deep breaths here. Then place your hands on your hips and engage your core and slowly roll up halfway. Lengthen the spine, reach out through the crown of your head. Then slowly roll up to center. And step that right foot back, going onto the ball of the foot. Put a bend in that front knee. For balance, for high lunge, if it's hard to balance, just widen your stance a bit. And then when you find balance, bring your arms to goalpost and raise them up towards the sky. And take a few deep breaths here. And then just bring your left hand down and place it on the back of that right thigh. And just turn, twisting to the left towards that bent knee. Right arm is still reaching towards the sky. Working on balance here. Take a few deep breaths. Then release the twist, come back to high lunge. Bring your hands to heart center and step forward to Tadasana. We'll take a few deep breaths here. Now we're going to go into Warrior Two. So your right toes are facing the front of the mat. Step back with that left foot. Your front heel is in alignment with your back arch. Turn your hips towards the long side of the mat. And when you're ready, extend your arms out. Level with your shoulders. Make sure your back arm is level with the front. Shoulder blades are back and down. And you should be able to see your big toe of the front foot. Taking your gaze over your right hand. Engage your core here. Take a few deep breaths for Warrior Two. Then straighten that front leg. Shift your hips back. Reach out with that right hand. And then come down to triangle. So bring the back of that right hand to your calf. And then bring that left arm up towards the sky. You have a flat back. Your shoulders are stacked over each other. And you have a straight line from your right hand to your left. There's no bend in the knees here. Take a few deep breaths in triangle. Your gaze is straight ahead. Then come back to Warrior Two. And we're just going to pivot on that back foot and come forward to Tadasana. Take a few deep breaths here. And we'll do the other side. So place your hands on your hips and step back with that right foot. Put a bend in that left knee. Heel arch alignment, hips facing the long side of the mat. Extend your arms out to the sides, shoulder blades back and down. Take your gaze over your left hand. Take a few deep breaths here. Then straighten that left knee. Shift your hips back. Reach out with that left hand. And then bring the back of the left hand to the calf. And straighten that right arm up towards the sky. Make sure your shoulders are stacked over each other. Feeling the stretch in that right hip. Take a few deep breaths here. Inhale back to warrior two. And we're just going to pivot on that back foot and step forward to Tadasana, to mountain pose. We'll take a few deep breaths here. Now we're just going to come down to the mat. Just lay on our backs and hug your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. And extend your legs long out on the mat, palms facing up. Let your feet fall out to the corners of the mat. And we're just going to take a quick Shavasana. Gently close your eyes. Relax your body and just bring your focus to your breath. Feeling your belly rise and fall on the inhale and exhale. Relaxing your forehead, relaxing your eyes. Remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Relax your shoulders, your upper arms, your forearms, all the way to the tips of your fingers. Relax your chest, your abdomen, your hips. Relax the front of your thighs, your knees, your shins. Relax your ankles, the tops of your feet, all the way to the tips of your toes. Relax the soles of your feet, the backs of your calves, the backs of your thighs. Relax your low back, mid back, and upper back. Relax the back of your shoulders, the back of your neck, all the way to the crown of your head. Continue your breath past the crown of your head, all the way past the tips of your toes. A continuous flow of air. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes and move your head from side to side. When you're ready, roll on to your favorite side. With your position, hands at heart center, thumbs at your sternum. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you everyone for joining in this 23rd day of Mindful March. We hope you're enjoying the sessions, and if you have any ideas or any questions, please just send us a message. Namaste.